Hey everyone, Shebby here and welcome to a sneaky little video. Pretty short notice.
Very short notice.
But we are barreling down only hours away from Wrestlemania. So myself and Mr. PJ Tovey, who's here.
Hello.
Thought we'd do a quick preview on tonight's Wrestlemania. Of course, we've done the Advent calendar matches already, but I want to get PJ Tovey's opinion on his sadness and disappointment.
Oh, it's not a card I'm looking forward to be honest. I said that about the Wrestlemania year before and the year before that. So
I think you're just never pleased, to be honest.
I'm never pleased. I'm never satisfied. It's just the feuds and matches that are going on are just, we've seen it on Raw, we've seen it on SmackDown, and now it's just on the big stage.
It's a lot of repetitive stuff, isn't it? I mean, the worst one from we'll talk about it as we get to it, but let's go through the card individually. So I think we'll start off with the pre-show matches.
So we have the Revival, Dash, Tyson Wilder, and Scott Dawson versus
Who's Tyson?
Kurt Hawkins and Zach Wilder. So Dash Wilder to do.
How many times are you going to get those names wrong?
Look, Dash Wilder and Scott Dawson, and I called him Tyson after his incident last night at the Hall of Fame.
No, I'm with you. I think you just completely got your head wrong.
No. Obviously, we're very fresh upon the incident from last night, so I don't know if that's going to alter the events of the finish regarding the tag titles. But
in my opinion, for this match to be on WrestleMania, they have to be using it as a cheap way to get Kurt Hawkins' losing streak to end.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be a massive moment. It will get a big cheer, I reckon.
It will. But then again, if you've got Zack Ryder involved, and after the Intercontinental ladder match when he won a couple of years ago, to lose it the very next night on Raw,
would not be surprised if that happened.
It would not be surprised. It does help that the Ryder and Hawkins tag team show more prominently on the network with their Figure It Out show. And I just don't think there's any other tag teams that can really go for the titles. The tag team division isn't well liked by Vince.
That's the problem. There are a lot of great tag teams that doesn't use them.
Yeah.
I mean, there's loads of tag teams that are just bundled into the bloody Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. It's just,
They'll be very fortunate that they get to have an entrance. You know?
I mean, if Revival, don't get me wrong, I think that Hawkins and Ryder are going to win it just because of that cheap WrestleMania pop of that. But at the same time, I just think it'd be so detrimental to Revival to lose this match.
It won't do their reputation any good.
No, they're finally being pushed as a top tag team on Raw. They're finally doing well, and now all of a sudden they're gonna. I mean, it wasn't only a couple of weeks ago they were defending the belts against Bobby Roode and Chad Gable and Aleister Black and Ricochet, a triple threat.
Yeah.
And now they've gone from that fantastic triple threat tag team match to bloody Hawkins and Ryder.
In the pre-show. So
it's disappointing, isn't it? But
I agree with you.
Yeah.
I believe that Hawkins and Ryder will win the tag titles, but it will be short-lived, and the Revival may claim the titles back the Raw after WrestleMania.
It wouldn't surprise me if they get a lucky victory tonight, and then Revival take it back on Raw. It would not surprise me at all.
So that's that match out the way, the old barn burner. Can't wait for it.
Yeah, next up then.
We have the Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match for the WWE SmackDown Tag Team Championships, which consists of the champions, the Usos, versus Ricochet and Aleister Black, The Bar, Cesaro and Sheamus, and Nakamura and Rusev.
This frustrates me again. Look at the tag team division. I mean, when you've got Gallows and Anderson and Sanity barely getting any TV time, and we've got Nakamura and Rusev and Ricochet and Aleister Black as tag teams, it does my head in. It really does.
I believe it just saves them all from being in the armbar, what they call it, the Andre Memorial Battle Royal. But yeah, it gives them a spot on the card. I don't know. The tag team division is makeshift. It is all over the place, in my opinion.
I think it can be a very good match. I mean, look at the people that are involved. It probably will be a very entertaining match. I mean, all 8 of them men, you could probably put on having a good match, and especially if it's given any of the time or purpose that the tag team match on NXT was given, it'd be difficult not to be a good match. But I just feel like it's going to be rushed. It's not going to give enough time, and I don't know. I don't know why, but I just can't see anyone but the Usos walking out champions.
Yeah,
still.
I was just took the words out of my mouth. I can see them retaining. The other 3 teams, where would you go with them as a tag team and possible champions? I mean, Ricochet and Black, They've finished with their NXT by the looks of it, so they're ready for the main roster.
I would let them step apart
But
because
yeah,
I think they're both so strong.
Yeah,
singles.
they're great individual wrestlers. I just think it was with the Dusty Road Classic, the DIY's injury with Ciampa. I think things had to have been shuffled about. But yeah, I can see the Usos retaining.
Yeah.
Because the Bar have had the titles for so many occasions that it just wouldn't feel fresh. And Nakamura Rusev, I would say, is the wild card. I believe that might be the outsiders sort of win there. But yeah, for me, the Usos to retain.
My hope still with the Bar is that they break up. Sheamus goes off for a singles run, and Cesaro then teams up with Cassius Ohno.
Oh, the Kings of
Ohno is
Wrestling.
dying a death down in NXT. He's getting nothing at all.
Well, he's been put onto NXT UK, hasn't he?
He had a little match there. Yeah, I don't know if that's a permanent thing or just a one-off, but
I think it'd be best for him because his style definitely suits the European
it
style
suits
than
it
it
very,
does
very
the
well,
American.
actually. Yeah, that's a good point. Coming to the NXT UK roster soon, Cassius Ohno. Nice. Yeah, we'll do that.
Days. So, the WrestleMania Women's Battle Royal, not the fabulous Moolah Memorial Battle Royal.
Nobody wanted to remember her, really. So
No, not really. And was it Naomi who won it last year?
I think it was, yeah.
And
That's how memorable it is. We don't even remember.
there we go. So,
The interesting thing about this, that I don't know how many people's going to be in it,
yeah.
but only 13 women have been announced.
Yes.
And those are all the 13 women from the main shows. So if it's going to be a 30-woman Rumble, or Battle Royal, whatever it is, we're going to see a lot of NXT ladies, maybe some NXT UK. We saw Tony Storm and Viper
Yes.
in the crowd last night at NXT TakeOver.
Yes. They've got to be in there.
Yeah, I didn't even think ahead of that. That just popped into my head there and
Yeah.
then. But we'll probably see, like, Casey Onzo, the one who's...
The one from Ninja Warrior.
Yeah, the one who's sneaking with Ricochet behind Tessa's back.
Well, that's only because they done a WWE video where they were doing trapeze training,
Yeah.
and because of their athletic ability, not saying they're sleeping with each other.
They're all... Every time I see anything on the internet, they're always together training.
I think he calls her Mama, so think of that as you will.
Little mama.
But the Women's Royal Rumble, Battle Royal, it's Asuka. It's got to be.
Yeah, I would assume it's Asuka unless they... Well, the heavy rumour has been Lacey Evans, but...
Jesus.
The thing is, the heavy rumour was that Lacey Evans was going to face Asuka and beat her for the Women's Championship at SmackDown, which thankfully...
Has anybody seen her in the ring?
In NXT, yes, but not in the main... She wasn't even that good in NXT, to be honest. I was surprised she got took
finishes
up.
with a forearm. I
Which
believe it's
anyone who
the
knows me
softest
knows...
forearm
Yeah.
I've ever seen.
Anyone who knows me knows that I hate strikes as finishers, apart from
A good old
Black's kick.
and a good old lariat. Nothing wrong with a good lariat.
Fucking JBL's clothesline from hell. This is a standard move that everyone else uses, but he gets a finisher out of it.
Yeah.
Again, I'll be surprised if Asuka doesn't win it, but then again, it could be a good opportunity to maybe give someone like Kairi Sane or Io Shirai
Possibly.
a boost onto the main roster. But again, I would not be surprised if Vince just does us all in and gets Lacey Evans to win it.
And an outsider again for me, Ruby Riott. Possibly, but anything can happen.
I think they need to make these Battle Royals have something.
Yeah.
Maybe like they can be given an opportunity to fight for a championship or...
Yeah. An incentive, as it were.
Yeah, because at the moment it's just a way to force loads of people that have got no point in being there on the main roster.
Everyone needs a payday.
Yeah, it just It's
So
pointless.
here is the next match, and I will try and be as positive as I possibly can regarding this title match. It's the WWE Championship match between Daniel Bryan and Kofi Kingston.
Yeah, I think it's not going to be everyone's cup of tea. I think if you've watched the TV, it's probably going to be a bit more interesting because there has been a story along with it. It's been a sort of an underdog. It's basically been a Black Daniel Bryan story.
Yes.
Essentially, over the Vince has put every single obstacle in his way and he's defeated them, and he's had a 50-minute gauntlet match on SmackDown, and then he's done all this sort of stuff. He's been conned out the championship match over and over again. That's basically what they've tried to do, and I do feel like because of all of that, it only makes sense for him to walk away with the championship.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like you say, it's going to be a tricky one. It's a weird situation.
I'm going to try and put my 2 cents in and try not to be ultra negative. He's there because Mustafa Ali got injured. There's no other way to put it across. If Ali was fit and had the program, then it would have made sense. The 205 stigma that wrestlers face, where they're pegged in and they can't
option C or
improve.
TNA.
Yeah, and
Austin
it would have
Aries
made
made the step
sense. It would have made sense. I would have been interested in the program. But because of Ali's injury, they've given it to Kofi Kingston. Now, I know Kofi Kingston's been with the company since the early noughties. I understand that he's a long-serving member of the roster. What I don't understand is why he's been given a program. You've got Kevin Owens brought back. What's he got? The Andre.
I don't even
Battle
think
Royal?
he's in that. I don't think he's been announced for that. To be
Dean
honest.
Ambrose. I know this whole is he leaving? Is he staying? But again, he's then been. He would have been a suitable opponent than Kofi Midcard Kingston. But again, the TV, everyone's behind him. It's because he's new. He's not new and he's not fresh. But in a title picture, he is that. But I can't fathom the idea of Kofi Kingston lifting the Hemp WWE Championship. I don't like it. I hope that Daniel Bryan retains. I really hope he does.
Just to go a little bit off subject for a second, you said about Dean Ambrose.
Yes.
I've literally read this morning that Dean Ambrose was spotted at an indie show last night
Okay.
with William Regal. So it's confusing a lot of people now. Some people are saying, is he just retired from in-ring wrestling? Is he maybe going to go to the scouting side or the coaching side? Or
Because he did have that major injury.
yeah, so that's what
Major
some
injury.
people are stating at the moment. So it's interesting. I still find it unbelievable that that Ambrose is leaving and the fact that they would announce it that way. I still think there's going to be a twist in the tail, but we'll come to that a little bit later on.
Yeah. So I said I want Bryan to retain. You would like.
I feel like Bryan retaining is the right move, but I feel like it will be Kofi. I can't see. I think with the build-up they've done, it would make no sense just to cut it off here. Well, then again, they've been doing that with Kofi for many a year, so it possibly could happen again. Either way, he's going to get a WrestleMania moment. It's the first time he's ever going to be in a WWE Championship match at WrestleMania. He's going to. But the thing is, you've got to remember is that WWE at the moment is very much based on how much money they can make.
Of course.
And the
Kofi,
New Day have been big merch
merchandise
sellers.
sellers for years. So
I mean, I went in the pound shop yesterday.
yes,
in town.
and there's the little mini unicorn.
Yep.
Yeah,
There's
from the
New Day riding a unicorn.
Yes, I wouldn't lie and say that I did purchase one. I purchased two, and gave one to my daughter and one to my brother-in-law. But again, hopefully Bryan retains. Now the next match, let's just move on. The Boss and Hug Connection with Bayley and Sasha Banks as the tag team champions versus Beth Phoenix, Hall of Famer, and Natalya versus the Iconics Billie Kay and Peyton Royce versus Nia Jax and Tamina.
All I can say is this match is perfect for one person.
It's perfect for me to go for a piss.
This match is perfect for one person. You know who the one person is this match is perfect for?
Go on.
Matthew.
Oh, Botchamania.
Botchamania is going to have an absolute field day.
Oh, God.
I mean, the frustrating thing is that we watched TakeOver last night, and Kairi Sane and Io Shirai,
Oh, unbelievable.
they are so in sync as well.
Yeah.
And they are just such a good tag team. I mean, you've seen Bayley and Sasha. I think it's such a new concept to all these women. They've never really been involved in many of these sort of things that
Yeah.
they're trying their hardest to make cool tag team maneuvers, and the timing's just not there, and they're making a
No.
lot of mistakes and errors.
The Iconics and Jackson Tamina will be botching absolutely everywhere.
Yeah.
Beth Phoenix, you know, she's not
Ring
been
rust.
in. Oh, yeah, she's not been in the ring for quite some time. She will be the powerhouse. I think the battles between her and Jackson Tamina will be a moment for the match.
Yeah.
But for me personally, I know this is going a bit out there, but I believe the Iconics might do it.
I sort of want them to be honest.
I
I don't know
believe
why.
they're fresh. They've got the charisma. Beth Phoenix, I think, is only a stopgap. I think they won't give them the titles just
I can't
because
see it,
of
yeah.
outside commitments. And then Nia Jax and Tamina, God help us, that would be awful. Because how
yeah.
would you then take the titles from them
Well,
if you give them to them?
it would be that whole sort of, I'm going to go real obscure here now, but that whole sort of run that Awesome Kong had in TNA, where eventually Taylor Wilde came up the crowd, and
Yeah.
I think it would end up with Io Shirai and Kairi Sane. But if we look through the four teams together, like you say, I can't see Natalya and Beth walking away because Beth has got children. I
Yep.
can't see she's going to want to travel across the country.
Defending the
Defending the
title
belt,
in
so-
Mississippi.
I think it's obvious they're not going to win it.
No.
The Iconics, I feel, are probably one of the only organic tag teams they've got. They've been friends for years. They went to school together. They trained together. They came to WWE together.
Had boob jobs together.
Yep, they're a perfect. They're actually a proper women's tag team. But again, They're still a little bit green. I think they got moved up a little bit too early, but it is what it is.
It is.
Then you've got Nia and Tamina, typical strong heel tag team, could win it, but I feel like the other 3 teams might team up to take the 2 out.
Yes.
But I just really feel like, I don't want it to happen, but I feel like Bayley and Sasha will keep it.
Yeah.
I feel they've got in their mind they want this run to be long. They want them to travel. They want them to defend in NXT, NXT UK, SmackDown, everywhere. And who knows, they might even do something stupid and let them go to Evolve for a match. Who knows?
Oh, wow.
They want to make this championship. They keep saying about it. They've been to NXT already and they've all done a little bit of mic work.
Yeah.
And I just feel like they're going to keep it for a bit more time. I don't know. I feel like I said as well before, I feel like the end of the show is going to be very much an Eddie and Benoit situation where you're going to see Becky holding 2 championships. You're going to see Sasha holding a belt. You're going to see Bayley holding a belt at the end of the show. I'd be surprised it doesn't happen.
We'll see. Right, let's talk about the next match. How the Mighty have fallen. Drew McIntyre versus Roman Reigns. Now, Drew McIntyre was touted to win the Rumble. Mm-hmm. He was touted to go for Lesnar for the title. And now he's probably going to be in the middle of the pack facing a returning Roman Reigns. Got no interest in this match. I know they've had a bit of a blood feud where McIntyre's been taking Roman Reigns out backstage. But to me, again, there's no interest for me in this match.
For me, there's not really. I'm not sitting here going, I'm really looking forward to this match, but I am intrigued because I can't see how Vince is going to go with this one. Because on one hand, you've got your big man, you've got the man you love to push in Roman Reigns, you've got the man who's just come back from battling leukemia. Yeah. And you feel like it's a whole redemption story to get his big win at Mania. But at the same time, they seem so intent on trying to turn McIntyre into the next big main event star that if he loses this match at Mania, it's going to have a massive hit. Then he's going to have to probably start again a lower down and fight his way back up again. So I can't see how it's going to go.
I can see it having a dusty finish.
Yeah.
I can see there being a bit of controversy, whether there was feet under the ropes or using the ropes as leverage. I can just see...
Or maybe a certain Dean Ambrose distracts Roman Reigns and costs him the
possibly
match.
to lead him into a feud. But no, I don't care who wins. For giggles, I'd say I want Drew McIntyre to win because I hate Roman Reigns.
I would like to see Drew McIntyre win. If they've got genuine ideas about making Drew McIntyre a main event star, he has to win.
And the best thing is that Roman Reigns is nowhere near the main event, so that just makes me even more
I think
happy.
that's probably going to make it a better Mania because the last few years we've really not been interested in the main event at all.
No.
So I think that is probably for the best.
Talking about interesting, the one of the most prestigious titles in WWE's history, the Stepping Stone, the Workers' Belt as it goes. Finn Balor versus Bobby Lashley.
It's a weird one. It is a weird. What makes it even weirder? Well, there's one thing that really annoys about this match is the fact this match has been done every single Raw and every single pay-per-view since the beginning of the year, so it's not special.
Hot potato the titles between them.
Yep, it's changed hands a few times, and then to bring in the Demon. I mean, I have full support on bringing the Demon in for WrestleMania.
Yeah.
But this match does not make sense.
Wrong opponent.
I mean, if he got The Undertaker, that would have been fantastic.
Yeah.
But, and again, if he was struggling against Lashley, if Lashley was beating him week in, week out, and he genuinely just couldn't get that extra mile to beat him, then he brought back the Demon, it would have made sense. But just to randomly go, I'm going to turn up at Mania with me paint on as a Demon, it doesn't make any sense. There's no point to it.
3 weeks notice, 2 weeks notice?
It didn't make any sense to me. And so I want Finn to win because the Intercontinental Championship is more legit around his waist, but I don't quite... I've never really been a massive Lashley fan, although I would like to see Lashley versus Lesnar at some point, but
I just think the two egos would never let it happen.
No.
Never let it happen. But yeah, for me, as the Demon, with the grand entrance, I believe Finn Balor walks away with the title.
I would imagine so. I think it is going to be probably the best entrance of the night. I think it's one thing they've done well the last few WrestleManias. I think they stole it from New Japan, really. A lot of special entrances at Mania. If you remember his entrance at New Japan where he came out in a coffin and they carried him down, that was pretty cool. But yeah, that should be interesting. I'm looking forward to... Well, I'm not looking forward to it. I'm interested. I think there's nothing on this card that really shouts at me like, yeah, I really want to watch this match. There's just a lot of matches that really think, you know what, that could be interesting, but it could also be dead.
So, talking about
dead,
where do we go with this next match? It's the singles match for the United States Championship between the champion Samoa Joe versus Rey Mysterio.
Well, last week, Rey Mysterio was injured and not able to compete in a match on SmackDown as scheduled. Whether he's fully returned from that match is a different story. I mean, he might miss out on Mania. We might actually have the match changed. And there are a couple of people. John Cena is still got nothing planned at this point in time. And he did do a little cryptic thing on Twitter yesterday saying thank you for the 619 wishes. Which, being 619, just got me thinking, I wonder if that's some sort of... I don't know, it's tricky. To be honest, I don't know if I'd rather see Cena face Joe than Ray face Joe. I've never really been into the hype of Ray, I must admit. I mean, I think I sort of missed it when it was organic. I wasn't really watching at that time.
I believe that Ray should have came back to spearhead the 205 brand.
Yeah.
He's a veteran. He's held the major titles. But to bring him back in arguably the best shape he's ever been in. You can't go against that. He's slimmed down. He doesn't look as jacked. But if he is injured, it may be a bonus for him. But we can see the John Cena taking an open challenge. Joe coming to the ring. Ray's not going to be here. And then you get the grand entrance of John Cena. So,
yeah,
again,
I mean, he's bound to do something.
Yeah.
Cena's bound to be involved in some way, but it might be a little bit later on. We'll discuss it a little bit later on. But again, I'm a little bit confused with this match because the way it was built up, it just seemed so weird that it just ended up with these two. Because it was, obviously, R-Truth won the belt and R-Truth defeated everyone.
Nakamura, and then Nakamura and Rusev.
It was crazy. And then Joe got involved and Andrade got involved and Andrade and Ray had some real good moments together.
That would have been a good match.
It would have been a fantastic match. I really wish they would have given the belt to one of those two and had Andrade. That was the original plan. The original plan was a mask versus hair match at WrestleMania between Andrade and Ray. And I don't know why that didn't go ahead, but I think just having those two in the ring together would have been fantastic. And especially, it would have really got the Latin American audience in as well. Because, I mean, they've got Andrade as potentially their big Latin American star moving forward, and they've just bunged him in the Battle Royal again.
5-star quality wrestler, and just can't
this should have been, if this was a triple threat,
I probably would say that could have been the match stealer.
Yeah, definitely. But would they do another triple threat with the amount of well, they've already got a triple threat in the main event.
No idea.
That's the problem, isn't it?
So for me, we don't know the outcome of Ray's injury, so it's hard to determine who actually wins.
If it is on paper Ray versus Joe, I can't see any
Joe's got to win
than a Joe win.
Yeah,
it has to. I think it's just better. Plus, if the rumours are correct and when SmackDown moves up to 3 hours, 205 will be moving on to SmackDown as well, then Ray could drop in and help that Cruiserweight division.
Definitely. So, we move on. The Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal.
Back to the pre-show.
This...
It's got a lot of terrible names.
Yeah.
But it's also got a few big names.
Yeah.
I just... why Strowman keeps getting stuck in this every year, I've got no idea. Really.
There's rumours that he's peed off a few people backstage, turning up late for TV, turning up late for house shows, bad attitude problems, and the injury that he faced, being dropped from the match against Lesnar, being replaced by Balor because Vince couldn't take Strowman losing more heat by losing clean.
Yeah.
So, again, he's never won the Memorial Battle Royal.
And I still don't think he is going to win.
Well, he won the Greatest Royal Rumble.
Yep.
But...
you get bugger all for that, apart from a nice flashy briefcase.
Well, you get a title belt that doesn't exist the night after. So, there's some people in there. As we said, Kevin Owens has got to be appearing in there if he's fully fit.
He's not scheduled, but there's still a few spaces left.
Yeah, you got to think so.
I would imagine there might be some NXT guys in there as well.
Yeah, from the TakeOver show. You never know. Undisputed Era may make a nice little entrance. Yeah. But for me, again, it's Strowman. Unless someone takes him out, I can't see any other person.
I think it's going to be, if it's 30-man Battle Royal, the other 29 are going to start. They're going to go after... I wouldn't be surprised. I hate myself even saying this. I wouldn't be surprised if it was one of the Saturday Night Live guys that eliminates him.
Oh, God. Let's move on, because there's nothing positive.
I would not be surprised if that's what happens. Maybe there's like 3 or 4 people trying to eliminate him, and one of the Saturday Night Live guy comes in, just pushes him, and all of a sudden he goes over the top rope with the last hand. It would not surprise me.
And then he'll be in the Hall of Fame in years to come for the celebrity wing.
Yeah.
So, I'm trying my hardest to really put this card in a positive light.
This for match to me is obvious.
Yeah, AJ Styles versus Randy Orton. No title on the line, no stipulation, no real sort of...
There's been a minor build-up.
Very minor.
Been a lot of Randy Orton just talking about Dixie Carter, really.
Yeah. It's got AJ's win on it. As we've said before, you know there's going to be a massive RKO.
Yeah.
Whether AJ does it from the forearm or whether he does it from the 450.
Yeah, I said forearm, but yeah, some people in the comments said about the 450 as well. I feel like that's going to be the end of the match. I feel like Randy will win. And for me, it just seems a bit... It's just... There's these certain things that they've got on Mania now. It's the same with Royal Rumble. You know in the Royal Rumble, you know Kofi's going to do something stupid.
Yeah.
You know at Mania, Randy Orton's going to try a stupid RKO. Yeah. It's becoming very repetitive, and I think that's what's going to happen. Yeah. I really do. I think that it'd be better if AJ does win.
Yeah.
But I don't think he will.
We have to wait and see. So next match, Shane McMahon versus The Miz. Sorry, the greatest in the world, Shane McMahon versus The Miz in a Falls Count Anywhere match. You know he's jumping from something. Falls Count Anywhere tells me that there's going to be a big spot.
Yeah. As I've said before, though, last year was Shane versus AJ?
Was that 2 years ago?
Was it 2 years ago? Bloody hell.
Trying to remember.
Well, at that point...
Yeah, because last year was Styles versus Nakamura.
Okay,
2 years ago, yeah.
At that point, I was sat there thinking, this is amazing. I thought myself, this is annoying. I didn't want Shane to face AJ, but the match stole the show.
Yeah.
Shane pulled out some fantastic spots, and it was great. But that's because that was the first time I've seen Shane in the ring in a long time.
And he did look gassed after 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking 10 minutes before you see him blow up and give the greatest strikes and punches in the business.
Yeah. But because we're seeing Shane in the ring week in, week out now, I don't think what he's going to do is going to be as special. We know he's going to try coast to coast. We know he's going to try an elbow through the announce table from the top corner. We know that. But like I said, the one thing that would make this match interesting, I've said this before, is if the safest worker in the ring, The Miz, if he was the one who hit something outlandish, if he was the one who sent the elbow from the top rope through the announce table, that would be interesting.
I can't see it.
I can't see it either, but that's why it would be interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, if we just see the same stuff again with Shane doing the same moves again and Miz doing the same things again, it makes no sense. But I think no matter what happens here, Miz is getting moved to Raw.
Yeah. I think he's pretty much run out of things to do onto SmackDown. So
yeah, but for me, I feel like The Miz is going to win. I feel there's no benefit in Shane winning this match at all.
Mm-hmm.
I feel The Miz is going to win, and it's going to be via a diving elbow from the top rope through the announce table, and he's going to pin him there and then on top of the announce table because it's Falls Count Anywhere. Yeah. That's what I'm going for. What do you think?
Oh.
Shane's not going to win, surely.
I think Shane will win.
Tell you what, if this is the actual Seth versus Lesnar match, it's going to be incredible.
It does look quite bloody. Oh. And there you go. There's the finish. Next match. Kurt Angle versus Baron Corbin. It just gets better and better.
Yeah, this for me is an interesting one because if it is Kurt Angle versus Baron Corbin, it's going to be awful.
Yeah.
If it is Kurt Angle versus Baron Corbin and Corbin gets squashed, then Angle starts to, on the mic, saying thank you and he's had a great career and it's absolute, and he's happy to finish off in front of this crowd. Then all of a sudden, either Cena's music hits or the gong hits.
The Taker.
And then we get an extra match on top. I think it'll be great.
Yeah.
But if it is literally just Angle versus Corbin, then I don't know where to go with that. I mean...
The reason why they've been put into this match is because it's the only thing they've had on television where Angle's had a feud. Where he's had pay-per-view sort of encounters with Corbin and storylines based around the general manager of Raw. I'm not looking forward to it. It will be quick. It won't be pretty. Kurt Angle stating that he wants to be 2006 Kurt Angle. Not a chance.
Right on cue.
Right on cue. It's like he heard me. No, he's not as mobile, you know, and it comes with age. He's, 50 years old. So at the end of the day, it is what it is. Angle, winner.
For me, it's tricky because I feel like Corbin is lost at the moment.
Yeah.
Really lost. But I feel like if Corbin was to lose this match to Angle, I think it's going to make it even worse for him.
Yeah.
Which is why I got a sneaky feeling he could win it. just for the major heat moving forward that he could then use to build himself back up again.
True.
But then that's if it is genuinely just these two in the ring. If there is, like I said, a squash match, then a Taker or an Angle up Taker or a Cena match, then it is what it is. But I don't know. I just can't see. Again, it's another one of those matches that I just can't see where it's going to go because it doesn't work well for anybody in any situation.
No.
You don't want Angle to lose his last match, but at the same time, if he does win his last match, it buries Corbin, and then Corbin just continues his downward spiral.
Yeah.
And then if Corbin wins, it's great for Corbin, but it sort of puts a damper on the end of Kurt Angle's career. So it's a tricky one.
Yeah, so we'll move on from that one. So, next match. We're going to go with Buddy Murphy versus Tony Nese for the Cruiserweight Championship, which will be pre-show.
I like it. I'm a big fan of Tony Nese. I have been ever since we saw him in TNA Gut Check.
Yep.
I've always been a fan of his, and I was so glad to see him as part of the Cruiserweight Classic and part of 205 Live.
If he was maybe 2 or 3 inches taller,
then
Vince would be putting him in a title picture.
Vince would have finished on him already.
Unfortunately, however, he is small in stature, and again, they couldn't give it to Cedric Alexander for this match because he's already had his WrestleMania moment. Buddy Murphy is a revelation in 205. I think people have stated in the past, look, he's doing spots in the match which are regularly seen on the indie scene, but because it's in the WWE, it's like, oh wow, we've never seen this before.
Yeah.
But not a match that really gets much interest from me. I think it will be the opening match from the pre-show rather than the tag team match to really get the show going, and then they'll go in with the tag team match.
With the Battle Royals, maybe.
But yeah, for me, Tony Nese is a winner.
I really hope he is. I mean, the thing is, I've been so excited the last 2 or 3 years. Ever since we got Neville versus Aries, I've been excited every year. I think last year was a Fatal 4-Way as well for the Cruiserweight Championship. I've been so excited for the Cruiserweight belt every single year, and every year it's just been rushed. Yeah. It's been a disaster, really, and I really hope this year is the one we're going to get a really good Cruiserweight match. I mean, the show, there's a 2-hour pre-show with 4 matches on. That's 3, but 4 matches on.
Yeah, so the 2 Battle Royals, tag team match and Cruiserweight match.
And then there's a 6-hour main show. So they've got to give enough time for these matches. They've got such a long show.
Yeah.
I know they've got 14 matches, but that across 8 hours, 14 matches is more than half an hour per match.
It is, yeah.
But you've got to take into account, obviously, segments and entrances and that sort of stuff. So they surely should give it time. They need to learn.
I think they're going to rush it, and it's just going to be quick.
It's going to be another half-empty arena job.
Yeah.
It's going to be rushed. I hope it goes well. I really do. I do feel like they'd probably just get the Battle Royals out the way first, and then just start doing the proper matches from there on.
Go.
And I hope that Tony Nese wins, but I wouldn't be surprised if Buddy Murphy wins. But I just want a good match. That's all I want.
Well, I'll be very surprised. So next match, Triple H versus Batista in a no holds barred match, and if Triple H loses, he must retire from in-ring competition.
Again, this one I said in the Advent Calendar match that I did, I would be very, very, very surprised if Triple H loses. I mean, having that ability to have that in-ring authority heel figure to face off against the wrestler, like the good old days with Vince and Austin, just having it there, even if you don't use it, just having that possibility there. Same with Shane versus The Miz now. It's the same storyline. Just having that in-ring competitor, someone who's a genuinely good wrestler as well, is just too valuable to lose.
I think this program stemmed from the fact, I believe it was SmackDown 1000, where Batista made claim that Hunter's beaten everybody, but he hasn't beaten me.
Yeah. And
it's a true fact that their match at WrestleMania in 2005, and Batista came out victor. Do you honestly see Batista coming back and laying down for Triple H?
Finger poke of doom.
I wouldn't say the finger poke of doom. He's obviously being paid a hell of a lot of money to
What I see happening, I said this in the Advent Calendar, what I see happening is it's no holds barred, no disqualification. I see DX running in, Shawn Michaels sweet chin music in him, Triple H hitting the pedigree. I think it's going to be a chance to give DX a WrestleMania moment and then have to be put in the Hall of Fame.
That's your opinion. I believe that Flair will have some form of
definitely,
input within this match. Obviously, the whole beating him down backstage and dragging him out in a body bag, pretty much.
It's the thing that confuses me, though, because I mean, normally in these situations you have people on the heel side, no on the face side, but at this point in time you've got all of DX, you've got Ric Flair.
Yeah.
I mean, who would come out to benefit Batista? Apart from only Randy Orton's the only one that could be...
But we've said this before with Triple H. He already had the DX run out for when he faced Sting at WrestleMania.
DX versus NWO, yeah.
So is there a real need to bring out a Fat Road Dogg, a high X-Pac and an AEW Billy Gunn? No.
And Shawn Michaels.
And Shawn Michaels.
I think any excuse to get Shawn Michaels on TV at Mania is going to be used, surely.
It's true. But I believe that Hunter has somehow blagged his way again to get on a WrestleMania card. I believe that his out-of-ring responsibilities as the COO after his injury at the Crown Jewel where he tore his pectoral, I can just see him just saying, this is it. It's box office, who's bigger than Batista, to put him permanently into his office role.
Apparently, from what I've read the last few days, actually, is that Triple H was not even considering a match at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
It was Vince that told Triple H he needed him on the card.
Because the card's so weak.
I think with the likes of... Well, if you consider now they're not going to have Jericho moving forward for a while. The Undertaker seems to be not really... We might have seen the last Undertaker match, for all we know.
Yeah.
And it just, for me, maybe they still want to keep a big star name that can draw for a few more years until they build another one that they can use. I mean, I don't know who it would be, but I would just be surprised. I think just having... I mean, you've not got to use it, but just having that possibility of having that in-ring authority figure that can come in for a storyline, I think is beneficial. And it's been used sparingly over the last few years, which is great. We've seen him against CM Punk, for example. We've seen him against... Brock Lesnar was a great match between the two of them.
Yeah.
And I just feel like they might just want to keep that door open if they need to.
Yeah, that's a possibility.
But I do feel like DX will be involved. I think the chance of having the DX another WrestleMania maybe the last one, because Billy Gunn is where he is, and X-Pac won't even know where he is, to be honest with you.
No, he'll be he'll be in the clouds.
It'll be something along the lines. You'll see a Bronco Buster, you'll see a Sweet Chin Music, you'll see a Pedigree, you'll see a Sledgehammer, you'll see lots of stuff.
And then you'll see Devon Dudley ran out to save the Deacon Batista.
Oh, that would be amazing. That would be amazing. Oh.
So, yeah, we've got two more matches to cover. Let's cover the Universal Championship match between Brock Lesnar and the Royal Rumble winner, Seth Rollins.
I'm in two minds on this. I mean, Raw's been struggling so much the last few weeks, and I still think, as much as Vince thinks that having Lesnar as the champion is a massive draw, how can it be a massive draw when he's not bloody there?
Yeah, you need to appear to draw. And people are a bit concerned with Seth Rollins because whilst he was in his authority figure angle, he didn't draw.
No.
And it weren't his fault. He was put into programs which were laughable and came out looking like a weak champion. But I think they've learnt from their mistakes. I believe that Seth Rollins will win. I've always told you that I've got a feeling that Paul Heyman may switch his allegiances from Lesnar to Rollins, because I can't see Rollins winning the title from Lesnar clean.
I agree, and I would love to see that, but I just don't think Lesnar has the ability to be his own mouthpiece.
I don't know if he will be any sort of mouthpiece. We know he's still continuing to work for WWE. We know this isn't a one and done deal.
I have seen rumours that he's scheduled to defend the championship at Saudi Arabia, which could be... If they honestly do this, if they get Lesnar to win this match, then Roman Reigns win the belt from Brock Lesnar at Saudi Arabia, I think I'm officially going to become a MLW fan or whatever it is.
MLW.
I can't be doing with that. I really can't.
Yeah. To me, like I said, Seth Rollins will win, and you're saying...
I really hope he does, and I want Seth to win. And I thought that it was obvious that Seth was going to win. But now these rumours that I've been reading about the potential match at Saudi Arabia with Lesnar, which is a massive draw, I think, in Saudi Arabia as well. Because they're not... How do I say this without offending people? They're a bit more of a simple audience.
They will boo and cheer the people they should be booing and cheering. They're not going to tween on the audience. You know. They're just happy to be there.
The audience are very much will do... And you see it a lot with the Indian audience as well. The Indian audience are fully invested in who WWE tell them to be invested in.
Yes.
Whereas the more westernised audience is a bit more a bit more anarchic.
Yeah.
We do whatever the hell we want to do,
Yeah.
and it frustrates Vince the hell. And I think that I don't know. It's one of those sort of ones. I really hope that Seth does win, but there's a real niggling little feeling in the back of my head that says you're going to be disappointed, mate. You want to go to bed before 6 o'clock this morning.
Yeah.
And I just hope I'm wrong, but you know, I've said before as well that I think this whole Ambrose leaving thing could be another twist in the tail, and he could cost Seth the championship.
And in my opinion, this should be the main event. The traditional way of WrestleMania is that your main title, with your biggest draw, with your Royal Rumble winner, regardless of the card in front, will always finish the show.
The problem you've got there is that was designed before the Women's Royal Rumble.
Yes.
So we do actually have the Royal Rumble winner facing off against the Women's Champion.
Yes.
But like you say, that's always been the male side of it. But it is...
And this is where we walk straight into our last match.
It fresh about a month ago, I was fully on board with this match. But I really feel like they've really started to overdo it now.
Overdo it? This all comes down to the Divas Revolution. Well, Women's Revolution, Divas Revolution, whatever you want to call it, women's, whatever. They stated when Sasha Banks and Charlotte Flair main evented the pay-per-view at Hell in a Cell, that one day there will be a women's main event at WrestleMania. And I laughed it off. I went, never. Absolutely never. They wouldn't risk it. They wouldn't do it. Enter Ronda Rousey, the biggest box office draw they've had in a long time.
I think they've lucked it, though. Because I think if it wasn't for the emergence of Becky the way she is...
Oh, it wouldn't be where it is.
Ronda would not have been able to... I know they would have wanted to do this anyway. What they would have done is they would have said, oh, it's the first ever joint main event.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have gone on last, but it would have been a joint main event. But they've been lucky with Becky's rise. And they've also been lucky with the rise of Charlotte's heel move as well. And I think it has worked out pretty well for them.
And again, the whole change of where Ronda Rousey came in last WrestleMania... She looked fantastic. She had a great rookie year. But then the fans went against her because...
She was always being put in matches.
Yeah.
I think that was the problem. It was that if you look at the last... Yeah, look at it, like you say, Matt. The first Hell in a Cell main event match.
Yeah, between Charlotte and Sasha, yeah.
First TLC match, Charlotte.
Yeah.
First everything. It's always been Charlotte. She's the first woman to main event a Raw, well, since Trish and Lita all them years ago.
We know that Ronda Rousey's dropping this title, but who's she going to drop it to? Either Becky or Charlotte?
Yeah. I think, well, I'm not saying now she's definitely going to drop it.
I think she's going to drop it.
I think she should. I think, like I've said before in the Advent Calendar match, I think that the end of WrestleMania is going to be with Charlotte, Becky, Sasha and Bayley in a ring.
Yeah.
Those four, and it's going to end up with Ronda Rousey, Shayna Baszler, Jessamine Duke, and the other one I can never remember the name of.
Oh, you were asking the wrong person.
It's Sumit Shafir, I think.
Okay, then her.
It's going to end up with them, and they're going to build towards the 4-on-4 match at Survivor Series.
Yeah.
That only seems obvious to me.
And there's no way that Ronda Rousey's taking the pin. It will be between Becky and Charlotte.
Then there'll be a mutual respect shown between the pair of them.
Mm-hmm.
They'll fight off the attacking foursome.
Yeah.
And Becky and Sasha will come in and help. Bayley and Sasha come in and help even.
Yeah.
And then we'll have the whole Eddie Guerrero, Chris Benoit moment of holding the championships up high.
Yeah.
It was the same instant there, wasn't it? Where you had, it was sort of the time they really just gave the opportunity to those sort of smaller guys, the better wrestlers in the ring. And it'll be the same with this. It's bound to end that way in my mind. Yeah. But it's which one of those women do hold the belts. Or then again, it could end up with Rousey holding both the belts.
Possibly.
And the 4 horsemen in the ring and the 4 horsemen... They're going to have to deal with that. The fact they're both called the 4 horsemen is just going to confuse everyone. For me, I was pretty sure Becky was destined to win this match. And I feel like for the first ever women's main event, they're going to want that massive pop at the end with the crowd.
Yeah. And the pop will come with Becky, not with Charlotte.
Yeah.
But they have reason to give it to Charlotte because of her... sort of first off being in this match and being in that match. So
I feel like the big ending, the one that will send the biggest message, is if Becky makes Ronda tap.
Oh God, they won't do that.
If Becky makes Ronda tap,
not do it.
If Becky makes one of the most
MMA
successful...
Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
No, I can't
If
see
they
it.
do that, that would be the biggest possible crazy finish they can do that's going to get the biggest reaction from
They
the
would
crowd.
have to pay Ronda double.
Well, yeah, I think that's possibly what could happen. And then, like I said, they'll build up for the 4-on-4 match at Survivor Series. This possibly, as we believe, is going to be the last year for Ronda.
Yep, she wants babies.
Because babies.
And she don't want to be sacked for being pregnant.
Exactly. So I feel like they're going to try and milk as much out of it as possible. Big Survivor Series match, big SummerSlam match, big Royal Rumble match, and a final WrestleMania.
Yeah. So all in all, how excited are you for this card?
Yeah.
Knowing that we've done the run through, knowing that we've casted our opinions on the finishes and the people involved, it is weak. I think they have to realise that they have now got competition with All Elite Wrestling, with Ring of Honor, people all doing these
Supercard
supercards.
last night, yeah.
All these supercards going around them, the Madison Square Garden being sold out, their mecca, their home. I think Vince has got to stop playing safe and has to give the fans a good program.
Yeah. So on paper, it's been pretty awful the last few years, but they have had some matches that have surprised me. And who knows, it could end up being a decent card. If the match, I mean, everyone in this card are talented. They wouldn't be here if they're not talented.
Yeah.
And they all have the ability to put on a good match if given the right time and the right direction, and they don't go for these weird, stupid finishes. So it's possible that it could still be a fantastic card, even though it doesn't look good on paper.
Yeah.
I've tried to stay as objective as I can because of that over the last few years, and this is probably is this the first time you watched it live in a long time?
The last time I watched it live was when the maggot incident with Orton and Bray Wyatt. I believe I went toilet at that point in this.
I don't think you even lasted the full show, did you?
I think I got to the main event. I think it was when Undertaker left his hat in the ring.
Oh, yes, yeah.
So that was where the Hardy Boys return.
Yeah.
That was the last Mania I watched live. So tonight, this is the first time that myself and Shabby Gamer are watching it together and watching it live, UK time.
Yeah.
So 10 o'clock in the evening till 5 o'clock in the morning.
5:30.
5 o'clock in the morning. And we're going to try our best to enjoy it, really.
Yeah, and we will be back tomorrow with a recap of what we think happened.
Yeah.
A little reaction video, which hopefully will be in a better mood than I'm not worried. I'm more intrigued.
I think that is the whole thing, you know. With the card the way it is intriguing to go, will it be as bad on paper, or will they pull it out of the hat and give us a good show?
I hope so. I mean, as much as the card doesn't look good on paper, I desperately just want a good show.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
That's it.
Anyway then, we're going to call that it because I believe this video has actually gone a lot longer than we ever planned.
It is, so thank you for
48 minutes.
48 minutes long,
Bloody
so
hell.
if you're still here listening, thank you for...
Type sausage in the comment section down
Oh,
below.
here we go again. Burgers, sausages, anything you want to think of.
Let us know what you think is going to happen in these matches as well in the comment section.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've all got your own ideas. But we'll call that it for a video. Because if you've enjoyed, please do hit a like. And of course, if you want to see some more, then hit that subscribe button as well. And we'll be back tomorrow with our post-mortem of WrestleMania.
Post-mortem, yeah.
I've been Shabby Gamer, Mr. Alongside.
Mr. Alongside PJ Tovey.
And we'll see you again soon. Bye.
The one, two,